Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gloria Nelson with TUG, and we are delighted you joined us today for our TUG Connects 365 programming. As you settle in, let me give a brief introduction for TUG, the usergroup.org, for both our current members and those of you who represent organizations that have not yet joined our online community of Infor distribution software users. Now, we've all heard that phrase that knowledge is power, and I can say unequivocally with great confidence that after today's presentation, you'll be waking up tomorrow with a little more of both. TUG webinars, online forums, and member events facilitate the timely exchange of ideas and information to help you work smarter and with more confidence. And that's a powerful combination. If you're currently a member, it pays to get even more involved. And if not, please visit our website to discover why 2,300 heads are better than one to help you be the best at what you do. Now, before we get started, let me touch base on some housekeeping information. Buckle up for about 45 minutes in total. We'll have 35 minutes of presentation broken into a couple of segments. There's going to be a poll to engage you in. And also we'll be having 2 very definitive break periods to address any questions that you might have. So open and drop your questions into the Q&A bubble. Everyone else gets to see them. And if you like them, if we have multiple questions that populate, it bubbles it up right to the top through an upvoting process. Also, I'll be monitoring chat. Feel free to drop your comments if you're already using the product or if you have questions or comments, I'll be monitoring that as well. So without any further ado, you are invited to take screenshots and capture content because Enlightennet wants to spread the word of what their product has to offer, and also feel free of anything that's put there. I know that when we get to the end of the program, Ellen will be dropping in their company website and her email address for future contact. So make sure that you go ahead and grab that while it's available. So it is my pleasure to welcome back Ellen Richard, Enlightenet's Vice President of Sales. Ellen, it's all yours. Go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Gloria. Well, hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about embracing tools that can improve productivity. We're going to talk about why it's important and the big impact it can have on your overall efficiency and financial health. I'm Ellen Richard, as Gloria just said, and I head up the sales department here at Enlightennet. We've been a trusted partner to distributors for over 17 years. Our software, Enlightennet Docs, helps companies become more productive and profitable by improving control of business documents, automating workflows, and eliminating the reliance on paper records. We work with hundreds of distributors across North America. We work across all ERP platforms, including all of the Infor platforms. Now, as we all know, it hasn't been quite a picnic for companies the past year. Distributors have experienced market disruptions, supply chain issues, labor challenges, new COVID variants, and other constraints. A recent McKinsey study indicates that more than 60% of CEOs restructured their organization in response to the pandemic, and many plan to continue to adapt in the years to come. Industry experts say if there was ever a specific time to reallocate resources towards business technology, this is it, especially towards projects that improve productivity. But what adaptations do you make that will have a positive impact? How do you make a positive impact with little disruption? Well, let's start with a small change that you can make that will have an immediate positive impact. Step 1, let's start with the basics, paper. As a distributor, you're inundated with tons of paper that has to be both processed as well as stored. POs, invoices, acknowledgements, packing slips, bill of ladings, expenses, etc. But one of the easiest ways to both save money and improve productivity is to take your company paperless. If your company is still managing and storing paper documents, you're probably spending too much on just basic operations. Dealing with paper in your processes is expensive. It's a drain on productivity. The fact is, paperless offices can process a much larger volume of paperwork compared to traditional offices in the same amount of time. Today, in our personal lives, electronic media aids most of our personal communications, but many distributors still believe in working with paper copies of their documents. In some cases, companies are receiving their documents electronically by email and then printing them out, even though they're already in electronic format. This creates work. It eats into the time of your staff, which in turn adds to your processing and operating costs. And this is especially significant because personnel costs are usually the most expensive component of any company's operation. And of course, certain documents have to be stored for future reference and audit purposes. This means that you have the further cost of filing and storing. And the cost of filing and storing paper can be substantial. Now, think of time wasted in searching for and retrieval of documents. In a paper-based system, it's easy to spend 15 or 20 minutes responding to a single inquiry. When you replace it with an electronic document management system, you can cut your retrieval time down to seconds. It allows your employees to resolve issues quickly, helping your organization to improve communication as people locate and retrieve documents faster and more easy. Now, the warehouse is an area, let's think about this. The warehouse is an area of business that relies on and generates a tremendous amount of paperwork. Your warehouse staff, they have to be on site to ship and receive goods, but they can and should play an important part in the digital workplace. Vendor packing slips, pick tickets, work orders, all are critical parts of a process that flows into the back office. In many organizations, the paperwork is hand delivered to the accounting group throughout the day. Or maybe your branch offices truck or ship paperwork to the main office, a process that can take more than a day. Having the warehouse staff scan their paperwork into a document management system eliminates time delays, but it also means that the accounting team can be disconnected from the warehouse and can continue to operate when displaced from the physical office for any reason. So I'm going to take time for a polling question here. Gloria, can we go ahead and pull up the poll? So number one, how effective are your business critical processes today? How much more effective could they be? Now, these are single choice answers. One answer is we are completely effective and efficient and no need to make any changes. Or I see a few changes that we could consider in the near future. Or perhaps the last answer is we are still completely paper-based and need to make some significant changes. So if you guys could please go ahead and answer those questions. Gloria, how are we doing? Have we gotten any answers to the questions?
Yep, I'd like to see if we can get one or two more people to respond.
Great.
Give it a couple more seconds, and if not, we'll go ahead and close it out.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so this looks like nobody responded that they're completely efficient and effective. This is great because I think we all have room for improvement and we can all learn. So that's fabulous. 75% said that they see a few changes that they could consider in the near future. And then an additional 25% said that we are still completely paper-based and need to make some immediate changes. So that's great information and I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And we're going to help you guys to see some of the improvements that you can make and perhaps make some changes within your organization. So let's talk about how Enlightennet Docs can help you with some of the challenges that perhaps you encounter today. So documents are published to Enlightennet Docs through traditional methods. We set up a virtual printer that allows you to print directly into the software from your ERP or any software that you have on your network. Documents can also be scanned in, and we can automate the whole scanning process for you, and we handle bulk documents really well. Email is a very big one. Invoices or other important documents that come in through the email can be automatically forwarded into Enlightennet Docs. And if you do any business at all by fax, those can also be automatically routed into the software as well. And we have a drag and drop feature that allows you to drop a document into the capture directory and off it routes to the correct folder or workflow. Now, auto identifier rules within the software recognize the document and automatically route documents to their correct destination. But no matter which way documents come into the software, we take them and automatically turn them into fully searchable PDFs. We index all of the text on each document, which allows users to instantly retrieve any document by any text that's within a document. So users can search a document by a PO number, invoice number, customer name, supplier name, part number, date, really anything. You can bring back a document within Enlightennet Docs pretty instantly. Now, within Enlightennet Docs, one of the nice things about Enlightennet Docs is the ability to bring back all of the documents that are related to any transaction with a single search. So you can see here that I have typed in a PO number 4854541, and I was able to bring back the purchase order, the packing list, and the AP invoices that are perhaps even in processing. I can bring them back with one single search. In Enlightennet Docs also, you have the ability to compare the PO against the invoice and against the receiving document, all electronically, to be sure that what you received and what you're paying for is the correct amount. Now, and that is a key feature actually that most of our customers love, is the ability to compare all the documents side by side. Now, the documents are in here through those 5 easy automated ways that we just talked about. You can find and search them instantly. But how else can it help me become more efficient? I don't do a lot of searching. I don't need to search up a lot of documents, but I really do need to gain some efficiencies. Well, you want to set up workflows. And with Enlightennet Docs, you set up workflows for any area of the company that requires multiple people to either work on a document or work through a process. You're controlling the path of the document. You're saying what the next step is and who has to take it. And workflows can really help streamline and automate repeatable business tasks, minimizing room for errors and increasing overall efficiency. Managers can make quicker, smarter decisions, and employees can be empowered to collaborate in a more productive way. Users can be alerted as new documents arrive or when something requires their attention or approval. Now, automating workflow of documents that are central to your company's business is a great example of where and how to begin automation. Activities that are time-consuming, that are impacted by changes in transactional demand, and are highly dependent on employee attention and involvement are perfect candidates for automation. Adopting the use of automation can help you keep costs down while maximizing both compliance and security. What you want to try to do is automate as many manual processes as possible for faster processing and turnaround time. Now, the payables team probably receives the majority of your vendor invoices via email, and those that don't should be encouraged to do so or incented to do so. Enlightennet Docs can be configured to automatically accept that email so that anyone who needs access to them, to the invoice or POs or acknowledgements that are coming in, so that they can find them quickly and easily without having to ask anyone for them. The same process can be used for order acknowledgements, sales orders. In the past, the accounting team was drowning in paper as they matched the packing slip with the order confirmation and the invoice. The same was true of the purchasing department as they match order acknowledgements with the original order. Using document approval and workflow in Enlightennet Docs system allows your users to be in different locations and working from the same documents in real time. Managers gain visibility into these processes. Clerks can easily keep track of each document that's out for approval, and invoices will never be lost on someone's messy desk again. Let's take a look. So here is a simple workflow that is built into Enlightennet Docs. And in this particular workflow, I've said that my documents can only move to these three places that I have defined in my particular process. My default is it's ready to process. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that in to get that processed. Or perhaps there is a price discrepancy. So I need to route that back to my purchasing manager to take a look, or my assistant who's going to take a look at that for me. Or perhaps there's an error on the receipt. So I need to send this back to my warehouse manager, who's going to just double check and make sure that I did in fact receive everything that is on this invoice. And pop-ups can be utilized to remind a user that a certain step must be completed. In this instance, when an invoice is approved and ready to process, the payment date must be filled out. So a little pop-up reminder populates, and the user must select what day they're going to go ahead and make this payment. In any workflow that you set up, you can utilize user fields. Within Enlightennet Docs, there's an unlimited amount of user fields for whatever your particular processes are. You can have them pre-populated so that your employees can only choose from what is appropriate for that particular workflow or that particular process. In any workflow, users can comment, and multiple people can comment as the document moves on down through the path of the workflow. Each person that uses the software can sign a document simply by clicking the box that says add my signature, or using the pen at the top of the page also will let a user sign a document. And managers get total visibility into any process. Everything that happens in Enlightennet Docs happens in real time. So if I were watching this screen in front of me, I could see documents moving. I could see who has what document, where it is in the process, who's currently working on a document, and how long they've had it. So everything is dated and time-stamped. As docs come into the software, everything is dated and time-stamped. When someone accesses the document, edits it, moves it, anything, looks at a document, again, a date and timestamp. So there's a very clear audit trail with total visibility. And because Enlightennet Docs is a web-based document management software, employees can access documents from anywhere and on any device. And again, as we all learned during the past year or so, a staff that's able to continue productivity levels when displaced from an office is crucial. So let's talk about deployment options, on-premise or in the cloud. Well, with Enlightennet Docs, the choice is yours. Although most companies coming on board the past couple of years are choosing our cloud option, specifically because you use our hardware, our operating system. We do the OCR, we do the backup, we do the updates for you. Choosing the cloud option provides business continuity, disaster recovery protection, security, and reduction of risk. All customer data is stored using encryption. All data is scanned for viruses, malware, and ransomware as it's received. As documents are stored, they are also periodically scanned again for viruses, malware, and ransomware. All communication to and from the server is encrypted also using bit encryption. There's daily, hourly, nightly, layered backups of the file backup, the database backup, the server backup. So again, redundant systems for a business continuity and recovery plan. So really, if you think about it, choosing the cloud is really another choice to improve productivity, because we do all the heavy lifting for you, and all you have to do is use the software. And customers that use Enlightennet Docs really achieve a measurable ROI in a matter of weeks. And here you can see what one of our many satisfied customers recently had to say about Enlightennet Docs. And we actually do guarantee your satisfaction. So, which is kind of something that's unheard of in the software industry, but we do have a money back guarantee on the software. So we are just about halfway through our presentation here, because I did want to talk about Enlightennet Docs and document management first. But I want to be sure to address any questions before we move on to step 2. So, Gloria, do we have any questions that I can answer for anybody before we move on?
We sure do. And I just want to remind everyone too that in your Q&A bubble, you do have the opportunity, as some have availed, to post your questions anonymously. So make sure that you put anything that you want to have an answer to in the Q&A bubble, or I'll also be monitoring chat. But in the meantime, first question that popped up says, does Enlightennet Docs integrate with any Infor platform?
Well, technically, we're a third-party service provider. So, but we do actually work with any Infor platform. We work across all of the platforms. And through one of the features in our software is called the Search Integrator, that allows you to be working in any software that you're going to have in your network, any Infor platform, and instantly retrieve any documents from Enlightennet Docs that are related to the transaction within Enlightennet Docs. In addition, because we're browser-based software, we have an API, and for further integration into any of the platforms, we're very happy to discuss with you how we can provide some further integration for you.
Wonderful. Another question says, I'm currently using another DMS and not satisfied. So can my documents currently stored with another provider be moved into Enlightennet Docs?
Yes, we do that actually quite often for customers who are utilizing another DMS. So we have a tool, we have brought over many different variables and many different document management providers. And we'll just need to take a look at how your documents are stored, whether they're going to need OCR, and then we'll formulate a plan to bring them directly over into Enlightennet Docs.
Okay, we have another question that says, what do you do? Let's say a packing list is received and it's a 4th generation NCR copy, and the text is so light that a scan will make OCRing very difficult or impossible. Good question.
Yikes, that is a good question. To be honest with you, that's difficult. That's going to be difficult for anything. However, there are some ways around it. My team will work with you to on your settings on your scanner to try to get the best resolution. And in addition, if there are problem children, so to speak, and this guy would definitely be a problem children, there may be a way that we could work around it so that the software could identify some of the issues on the document. So meaning that if the software, because the copy is so bad that the OCR gets a really bad read on it, there may be a way that we can put some rules in the software so that when we're indexing the whatever text is there, if the OCR read it as like an I as opposed to a 1 or an E, we can put some rules behind the scenes so that it can redirect what the read actually is, if that makes any sense.
The poster also, Bob says, do you have the ability to edit the scan in that condition?
Yes, we do. We have the ability to, once a scan is in the software, you can edit the document through the editing feature in Enlightennet Docs, either through, now the editing feature is in Enlightennet Docs is adjacent to the document, where you can add any information onto the document through either the user fields or the comment section. And once information is added into those fields or the comment section, it becomes what we call a document property that stays with the document for the life of the document and is also fully searchable. In addition, we also have built into the software a PDF editor that allows you to annotate, write text or notes, sticky notes, highlight, different things like that. So you really have two different options within the software to edit and or add additional information onto the document once it's scanned.
I have another question and then another one that's bubbled up. So I'm going to combine these two together, if I may. The
Sure,
first
sure.
question is, what does implementation look like and how much time is involved? And then also on the tail of that is, if someone is using your NetDocs solution and say they're an SX.e user or they're Fax or A+, and they're intending to move to the cloud, once they have integrated it into their current ERP, what does that look like with regard to upgrading to cloud technology and moving to CSD? So it's kind of a 1-2 punch. Is that too much, Ellen, at once?
Yeah, let me try to break it down. That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so implementation is really fast and easy. Literally, we can get you up and running in a couple of hours. When I say up and running, I mean you'll have the software, we'll get your scanners configured, we'll get your virtual printer set up, we'll get you started on folder setup. You won't have all your workflow set up, but you'll get started on the process. You'll have the ability to be able to start scanning and printing and playing around in the software. Then what we do generally say is we want you to kind of play around a little bit for a day or two. We'll come back, based on your timeline and start to do some training. We'll work with you to set up some workflows. We'll look to you for, what are your current processes? Do you have it mapped out? Let's take a look to see what steps we can eliminate and how we can help you get a more efficient process in Enlightennet Docs. We do both admin training as well as end user training. And we find that most people don't necessarily even require a lot of training because the software is very simple and easy to use. It's very easy to understand. So employees adopt it really quickly, which is a really important point to make here, because one of the key things that you need to think about is how easy is this software to use? Because what you don't want to do is spend money on a software that is difficult to use, that your employees will rebel against and not use. So implementation, bottom line in a nutshell, implementation is fast and quick and easy. If you go in the cloud, it's even faster, because on the day of install, we have it sitting there waiting for you. So it's very, very fast. And within a week or two, all your employees can be rocking and rolling with the software. Okay, and then the second part of the question was, if you start with Enlightennet Docs and then you change or upgrade the platform to another Infor platform or the CSD platform, what will that look like? We'll do whatever changes we need to make on our end, which will probably be minimal, to make certain that we will continue to operate at 100% no matter which version of the software that you're on, whether you're on premise or you're in the cloud. So hopefully that answers the question for you.
I believe it does. And that's all that's populated thus far. So I'm going to throw it back to you and let you continue, Ellen.
Okay, thanks. All right, so we've talked about document management, getting rid of paper. That's a first step. It's simple, it's easy, it gives you immediate ROI. Let's talk about step 2. Let's talk about AP automation. Now, 2020 should have convinced us of how important automation is, and shined a light on the processes that haven't yet been automated, but really ought to be. Accounts payable is a critical part of any business. Accurately paying approved and validated invoices not only keeps the lights on, literally, but it also manages cash flow. It strengthens your business relationships and it can result in deeper discounts and or larger rebates from your vendors. Accounts payable is a crucial function that can either boost or hurt your financial health. It plays a vital role in the overall operations of the company. It can affect your market reputation if you're paying your invoices late. It affects the terms you get from financial institutions. It affects how well an audit goes and more. Most distributors are dealing with a large volume of invoices, either in paper form or electronic. And before you pay that invoice, your AP team has to verify that the info on the invoice is correct. It's a key part of the process, but it's very tedious and error-prone when it's done manually. Error in data entry is common among nearly every AP department. And when this is repeated hundreds of times per day, even the most careful human eye lacks the ability to guarantee accuracy. As a company scales, the problems only get worse with the volume of paperwork. Now, automating your accounts payable process is a smart way forward. An automated invoice processing system can dramatically reduce processing time by as much as 80%, with significantly better accuracy than a human. All that manual data entry can be eliminated, and all invoices are securely stored electronically, quickly and easily retrievable when needed. Now, key points of why do you want to automate accounts payable? Well, you want to increase your speed and your visibility. You want to improve your supplier relationships with on-time payments. You want to reduce risk and prevent fraud. You want to lower your operational costs by eliminating paper and physical archiving. And you want to eliminate a low productivity expense like the error-driven data entry. We are very excited to announce our new partnership with Esker to eliminate the manual pains of traditional AP invoice processing, improving the speed and accuracy of invoice processing for our customers with seamless integration between the two systems and your ERP. Esker's cloud solution automates every phase of AP invoicing, from reception of the original documents to the creation of an accounting book entry in the ERP system, minimizing manual touch points and helping employees work smarter and not harder. Now, Esker has AI-driven data recognition. It's built on a set of technologies designed to mimic human intelligence. Esker's AI engine can manage and analyze both structured and semi-structured invoice data. Esker's automated invoice data extraction uses machine learning as well as auto learning based on user modifications. So with this deep learning technology, it can train itself as corrections are made. Invoices can be automatically routed to the correct AP specialist based on extracted key invoice information. Invoices can be prioritized to process the urgent ones through prioritization management. And Esker works with any invoice, both PO and non-PO invoice types. Now, the Esker solution integrates with any ERP system and will sync with ERP master data. Esker performs three-way match handling. And here's a few of the key features that Esker provides that I hear about a lot when I'm talking to customers. Easy exception handling, duplicate invoice check to avoid entering the same invoice in the ERP system twice, multi-level approval, routing prioritization through data capture, defining workflows to automatically route invoices with exceptions to the appropriate user. Payment optimization tools. This is really cool. Early payment discount management, as well as late payment fees handling. There's a homepage metric that displays the amount that's available for early payment or the monetary value of potential late fees for invoices that are approaching their due dates. The AP specialist can then reroute an invoice approval path to speed up the approval process. Esker can display EDI invoices in human readable format. The Esker solution is equipped with intelligent dashboards that display live visual analytics, like requests that are pending approval, spend by category, etc. And it's customizable so users can really choose what they want to see and track. So you have full visibility into the AP process. And of course, integration with Enlightennet Docs. So invoices are automatically captured by Esker, no matter how they arrive, whether they arrive by email or scan, fax. Invoice data is automatically matched with the corresponding PO lines and goods receipts so that they can be automatically processed when there are no exceptions. If there are any exceptions, they can be quickly resolved from a single view. Invoices that require payment approvals can be automatically routed to the correct individual or group in charge. And process invoices are entered into the ERP system and passed to Enlightennet Docs along with the link to the document in Esker. The invoice, now in a process complete folder in Enlightennet Docs, is tagged with the pertinent data, including the date the invoice was processed. The invoice in Enlightennet Docs, as well as any other document related to the transaction, can be quickly and easily retrieved, as we've just seen when we were taking a look at Enlightennet Docs. So here you can see the fields section here. These user fields are auto tagged with the validated data that has been output by Esker, along with the link to the transaction in Esker. So you can toggle back and forth between the two systems. And the invoices are then automatically moved to a process complete folder in Enlightennet Docs. Those user fields have been populated and important information is stored, such as the date the invoice was processed, along with any other document or communication related to the transaction. All of the business critical documents are stored in Enlightennet Docs and are quickly retrievable to permitted users from any location and on any device. Now, for today, we focused on document management. We focused a little bit on some AP automation, which are two steps that you can take that will definitely improve your efficiency and your overall financial health. Next time, we'll touch on some additional areas for improvement and automation. So what I'd like to do is maybe take some Q&As. Let's touch base with Gloria and see what questions you guys may have that I can answer for you.
This is a great one, and I'm going to kind of overlap them together. It says, how does Esker and Enlightennet Docs integrate security and document accessibility between platforms?
Oh, that is a great question. So we integrate between the platforms. Once the data is validated in Esker, Esker is going to pass that validated data to us through an SFMPT transfer. And I have to apologize, I'm in sales. I'm not the technical guy. Generally, I have somebody, one of my technical team alongside of me who can answer these technical questions. So I'll give you my take on it, and I can certainly answer. I'll get a more technical answer to your question to technically explain both the integration and the security between the two systems. So, but once the data is validated, Esker then passes it to Enlightennet Docs. And in Enlightennet Docs, you can define security permissions as to who has access to which documents through permissions that you assign. The most basic level of security is view, who can view a document. There are additional layers of security at a folder level, like who can move documents, who can edit documents, who can email documents, different things like that. So security permissions are assigned within each of the two softwares. There's a link between the two softwares, and I can forward to you some more additional technical information in terms of security at the end of this conversation.
Thanks, Ellen. We might have touched on this before, but I'm going to bring it up again because I want to make sure that every question gets answered. Is AP automation integration on any Infor platform?
Yes. Yes, we at Enlightennet Docs are working across all of the different Infor platforms, and any of the AP automation integration can also be done across any of the Infor platforms.
Got some additional AP questions bubbling up here too. It says, do you have current customers using your AP automation integration?
We do on other platforms. We've been doing AP automation integration for about 1.5 years on other platforms. We have just recently started to expand into the Infor platform, and we are currently in the process of working and building out projects for some current Infor customers.
That really ties into this final question that I've had populate so far. What is the timeline and requirements for AP automation implementation with Infor products?
Okay. So first, timeline first, you would start with Enlightennet Docs. Some of you that are on here, maybe you are already existing Enlightennet Docs customers, which is great. But if you are not utilizing Enlightennet Docs, we would have to get you up and running on that. Then each project, each AP automation project is going to look a little bit differently for each customer, depending upon their AP needs. Because Esker is an out-of-the-box software, but it is customizable to the users or the customers' requirements. It takes a little while to build that. So Enlightennet Docs, you're up and running in a couple of weeks, a month, you're perfect. In the meantime, while you're working with Enlightennet Docs, you can start, Esker can start building out the project for you in the background. But the timeline for the AP automation project probably takes a few months. I would say 3 to 4 months for a complete and total build to be up and running.
That's really good to know because, everyone wants to be able to build that into their plan of work and their own roadmaps, whether they're in the process of upgrading or moving to the cloud, where so many people are gravitating these days. Also, this just populated, is your folder structure, in your folder structures, how detailed can you be, for instance, in just AP, or can you actually have folders by vendor AP? Good question.
Yeah, you could have folders. Yes, you can. You can have folders by vendor in AP if you choose, because information that's coming from us, from Esker, is going to have to be labeled by the customer name, the vendor name. So you could have folders for individual customers, AP customers within Enlightennet Docs.
Great question. Ellen, that's all that's populated so far. I'm going to keep an eye on that Q&A bubble, but I'm going to ask you, is there a slide that we can look at that has your contact information on it? Should someone want to avail, you as a resource for more information and, get some additional questions answered and find out how your company can help them work more productively?
Yes, there is. This slide contains my contact information. And I just want to thank everybody for your time today and your attention today, as we talked about some process improvements to put in place that can help you improve productivity. Please see my contact information on this slide. I'm going to go ahead and paste it into the chat box so you have it in case anyone wants to reach out to me for further questions or to talk about your individual business challenges and how we may be able to help. So thanks again.
And Ellen, that's so wonderful that you offer that consultative approach too, I just might add. And without any further ado, I want to just say a huge, huge, huge thank you, Ellen, for being one of our Infor partners and also making your presentation available today for our Infor and guest joiners here today. So thanks for joining us in the digital audience. I want you to know that you held their rapt attention. Not anyone logged off during that entire time we've been online. And also this presentation will be available on our website, and I'll be posting it also within 1 to 2 business days on our member exclusive forums. So make sure that you watch your inbox as well. Now, our next webinar coming up will be Tuesday next week, November 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern time, where Epicube will be sharing their new end-to-end claimback and rebate management software solution. So watch your inbox and also make sure that you check the website, because those links are always available there to register when you're on the fly. And we'd like to invite those of you who are members of TUG to continue this conversation. I know that Ellen and her colleagues will be monitoring that for any questions you might have in our forum. As we know, that's 24 karat gold, and you get very swift responses there, usually within a matter of minutes. So for those of you who are not members yet, I say, why not join? Please jump on over to www.theusernet.org and join today. So as they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap, folks.